Welcome, everyone. We're the COD Casuals. I'm Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we're going to be reacting to the final episode of Into the Breach, Boston Breach series. So we've reacted to episodes 1 through 4. Make sure to check those out. It'll be in the description below. This is the end of the MW2 season coming up. Let's get right into this.
Obviously, Major 4 qualifiers was where we made most of the changes. Kind of went as expected. The Vegas loss, looking back on it now, nobody knew how good they were going to be. So I think at the time, pretty disappointed in that loss. But now looking back, I'm like, okay, they're probably a top 6 team in the game right now. But still, I believe we should be beating them. So.
We made the change to try to push us to the next level. Because we was there when we had the old team with Dylan Reese, but we just wasn't quite there. So we made a change to try get a better placement and improve our ceiling.
We started off well. We won our first match. It was a bounty match against London. It started off all right. We won 3-1. And then we played Optic in New York, ended up losing both those matches. And I held a lot of stress for sure, because being the new guy on the block, you want to instantly make a team better. That's what you're brought in to do. They just got top 4. I'm here to make them potentially a first place contender. And you don't want the change to be wrong, because you know what you bring to the table. And if you're not winning, it doesn't matter what you bring to the table.
I like that mentality.
I do too.
You have to win. But yeah, dude, Kremp. So this roster is Kremp, Beans, Awakening, and Nero. And
right.
They already have 2 rookies on the team with Kremp and Beans. So you got thrown into a very hard situation where Boston couldn't place above that top 4. And they bench Vivid, obviously, starting Kremp now because he was frying in challengers.
Right. And yeah, exactly. Like I said, he came from the challenger scene. And to think too, hearing him say it out loud, that's a tall order. They just got top 4 and he's over here what's above that? It's not like they just got 8th and they're like, okay, we're looking to get into 4 through 7 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Their next step up from that is winning. So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and this roster was the final roster of the season. They finished out with this roster, so yeah. No, Kremp was really good.
Well, actually, amendment, right? They had one more change that comes right at the very end.
Oh yeah, that's true. With that asterisk, which will be in episode 6 of Into the Breach, but that's not out yet.
Exactly.
So.
Well, obviously, we knew coming into it that we had a hard bracket. Optic were the best team in the game at the time. Maybe still.
Dude, I'm telling you, sorry to pause again, but Boston matched up with Optic so many times this year, and they're just our kryptonite.
They are.
And again, I can't really expect a team to come out and beat Optic when you're doing roster changes.
Right.
Every major.
Yeah, they talked about it giving insight into later on. They've said it before. It's not like us just kind of making stuff up. That was their biggest issue this year, was just the amount of roster changes that they'd had to do. And it shows, dude. We've said that in the other episodes. If you're making all these changes, it's so hard to have a team that's going to be constantly playing at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You need that time together.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate that the CDL schedule doesn't work out. Yeah, it doesn't allow it. You have 1 month.
Right.
So, but yeah, this is it was a tall order for these guys.
Still are, could be arguing, thieves and other people, but still one of the best teams. So we know it was going to be a hard round 1.
Major 4 was supposed to be in New York, but New York couldn't for, I think the venue. But so they did this on land, actually, in Columbus, but there are no fans, unfortunately.
Very weird, weird circumstances.
Yeah.
And that should be the map. What have you got, Nero? You're the last man here. Awakening to back him up. The contest, a few seconds. It is done.
Now you just feed Nero. You got bombed down. You know a player's going to be up top as well. He hunts him. You know where the last guy's got to be. He's even got the right gun for the job.
Let's go for the ninja. Everyone silence. Here we go. Onto the bomb. Shotzi is taking the scenic route, and it may not pay off for him. No, it won't indeed. Nero pops it, diffuses it. Map point, Boston breach. 2v2 now, it's a 2v1. Last man, Nero can't get it done. Optic, hold the line.
So bad.
I'm like fighting everybody off, dude. Like we're just like he's still
But,
no one's like.
I mean, actually, remember the other day when we were saying what the conversation we had? When we're on OP4 and we've got a streak, what we should do?
Yeah, we should hit sharp.
Yeah, and then again, we wasted time. Like, and then we go like kitchen and mid, and then even if we get kills, they're this side, and that situation what happened is going to happen because you're never going to clear them out. Whereas if we all just group up one area around the area, streak, get kills that can only be in front of us instead of being behind us, and then the calls are coming wide, they're coming their side of the bed. Shotzi's not dying because he's just playing like a rat in storage, like everyone does.
Like every time we match up against Optic, I feel like it's usually pretty close. So like we were still like I was confident that we could win, but I mean I don't know about the other guys, but like, I was so confident that we could beat them, and like we probably should have. I'm pretty sure we choked the control. Yeah, because we won the S&D, I think, and we choked the control in like the last hard point. So we, in my head, we probably should have 3-1 them, but.
Which I like how Awakening said that he's confident that they can beat Optic because, dude, every time they matched up against Optic, it was pretty close. I think besides the series at Major 3 when they had to replay them again. But also I will point out, though, I think it's a problem if he thinks that, you know, I'm very confident in beating Optic, but he doesn't know about the rest of the team. The entire team needs to go in expecting that they can win.
Yeah, you have to do that against every team, every series, no matter what. You have to have that mentality.
Yeah. That chemistry has to be there. Like, if I'm talking to you, we're going into every game expecting to win. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, it's never like I don't know about this one.
Yeah,
we ended up losing, and then we played Toronto, which like they're two of the best teams in the game. So
with Hardpoint, like I think going Team B here is going to be better. Again, if we went Team A and it's going to be Bagra, Hotel, or Mikado, I don't know what to pick from that one. I don't think anyone does. So let's go Team B. Let's go Team B. Let's let them pick map 1 first. We'll have a good side. We get a strong S&D map 2. And then we also get to decide what we want to play for control. They'll ban. I don't know.
Depends how much they want to gamble.
Yeah.
They don't want to like. Are we going to play?
Yep.
I think it's so funny that. So since this was at Columbus, I'm assuming they're all outside sitting in the parking lot because they don't have individual like team rooms. So they need to step outside to, you know, have these discussions privately.
It's their only place for privacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, you know, this was a big topic at Major 4. If you remember when like the user winning and stuff, and the coach was sitting right behind.
Oh yeah. I do. No, I do remember that now. Yeah. Yeah, it was really weird. Like there was people, they were just watching all the games go down, like the other players and other coaches. Yeah, sitting behind them. It was it was odd. It was cool, but it was just very strange.
I'd imagine that, like this was thrown together very, very quick.
Oh yeah, real quick.
So I'd imagine that the room wasn't that big, so all the players were like near each other and stuff. So if you're wondering why they're sitting in the parking lot just on the ground,
that's why.
That's why.
And then Hardpoint map 4. What would you guys? Obviously, they're going to pick one of them. But
There will be hotel. They won't pick hotel map 1. They'll pick Bagra or they'll pick. You think so? Carver, yeah.
We're going to pick hotel.
Yeah.
Really get on.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, Ben. Big ups.
More. Are we surely going to see Boston maintain competitiveness over at the bar? Oh, the rotation. Absolutely not. Scrappy delivering a quick triple, and that should be the game. When he was called upon, he was able to do what was needed. The SMG is completely frying in these last few rounds. Convene, start to bring Kleenex. They're trying to put the Great Dane to take down Crimp, but he will not go away. Oh my! Go away! Toronto wiped off the point as it's Crimp styling here in round number 5, but just barely scrapped. Maybe the final play. Maybe the
Look how close. these
Obviously
games are right
disappointing.
now.
Everyone knows we got
Yeah.
last, top 12. You could make the excuses we played Optic in Toronto, who were probably, Toronto were the previous winners, and Optic were probably the most informed team at the time. It takes a long time to teach someone like the decision making behind a player, like what Reece does, and we just don't have the time. Being this on that cusp of champs, we don't have time to lose games and learn from games, and that's over now. If we had one more major, if there were 6 majors this year, maybe we would have given that roster another go. People can say it's rational or it's why we're making so many changes so fast, but myself, Dan's, Josh, we're in that facility every day, 8 9 hours, and we can tell if something's going to work or not, and we believe that iteration of the roster wasn't going to work. Ended up bringing Reece back in.
So this is
There you go.
one thing I want to point out. So obviously, I've been very adamant. I'm a very big Reece fan, right? So when they benched Reece, I was like, damn it. But at the end of the day, you and I both have the same opinion of like we don't know shit. Because at the end of the day, these guys are the ones in the facility all day working together. So I know you and I have talked about on the podcast. These people say, why'd they do this? Why'd they do that? Like, we know better. No, we don't. Like,
we don't.
There's a reason why these guys are head coaches and general managers. And
Exactly.
they're there every day with the players. And you and I can add to it. Like, we have seen this. These guys are there at the facility all the time grinding.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day, if you're going to be like an actual fan and holding true to that, then you just got to have the faith in your team and the people that are leading that team, no matter what.
Exactly. And you and I fully trust Zed, Josh, and Dens to make the right decision. And like, we're not the ones making the decision here. They've got all the experience. They know these players. They're there every day. They're putting in the work. So I just wanted to make that known because, man, some people on the Reddit, like I'm not on the like Call of Duty Reddit a lot, but man, people
I'm not either.
They're outrageous.
They're out on Mars, dude. That's their problem.
Yeah.
Definitely missed coming to the facility every day because even the challenges when I started playing, just rolling out of my bed to my setup, definitely not the same feel. Like having a routine every day is definitely nice besides rolling out of the bed, so definitely missed that part. Since I've been on the team, just a couple of things changed. Just practice habits, just overall habits that they want to get into that weren't doing with when I was on the team and then didn't start doing without me. So like kind of like getting me on board with what we want to start doing, just to like freshen things up and get onto the right track.
Obviously, we're missing the comms that Reece brings. I think he's a really, not the most vocal player, but he's more vocal than I would say Dill was. But I mean, obviously Dill's still a great player, but I think Reece just brings the comms that we needed, and he just makes game-winning plays and stuff. So I think we were missing that.
So Minnesota was a little bit of a heist. We, at the start of the year, the pilot program was a home series LAN event. There obviously were a few hurdles to overcome, but it was year one of the program. I think Minnesota have done a magnificent job. When the players got there and whatnot, it was a really cool environment. It definitely was. Hey, you're on the main stage. There's crowds. But yeah, we went there, played Minnesota. We declined to turn off EQ. We practice. Every team practices with.
This was a huge.
This was a massive controversy.
Yeah, there's a lot. Before we get into that, I wanted to mention Vivid came back in, but Vivid came back in for Nero. So again, another new roster with Kremp, Beans, Awakening, and Vivid now instead of Nero.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole sound EQ thing, won't go too deep into it, but
it was very controversial what he's
very
about to
controversial.
Explain.
Yeah, if you played MW2 and you're on PC, we all know the sounds in the game are outrageous.
Yeah.
And sound EQ just makes everything like even more enhanced. So Boston decided not to use or decided to use sound
EQ.
Yeah, on LAN, and Minnesota chose not to. And we'll leave it at that.
Sound EQ on throughout the qualifiers. There are teams at the moment who have qualified for champs who are playing with sound EQ because there's just so much at stake these days. Competition is, you slip up one day and you can lose. You now got 12th seed, you're going into the major loser bracket, and that mentality and that headspace for players isn't the best, right? So, their confidence is deterred a little bit. So every game is just as important as the next. We are a very good sound team. We have good ears. Myself and the coaching staff was like, okay, I think it'd be best for the competitive side to play with sound EQ. At the end of the day, it definitely tilted them. I think bands kind of stormed off. Minnesota, ourselves, Surge, and Vegas were all bubble teams. So it was a very big match, and any advantage we could take, we would take. Obviously, Minnesota still used it. So, it's kind of level footing, but we're...
I need to reword my phrasing. So Minnesota did use it. I said that they did not.
There you go.
So it was an even playing field, but the argument was that
They shouldn't use it at all.
You shouldn't use it at all, but they wanted to because it was in the middle of the qualifiers, not like on LAN at a major.
Right.
Better at using it. So, there were multiple reasons why we did what we did. And I stand by that. Was it wrong? Yes. Did it give us competitive advantage? Yes. And at the end of the day, that's competition. There's plenty of things in the game and what players do that is questionable and has been for a long time. So what we tell our players is, hey, there's no point complaining about it. There's no point bitching about it. There's no point saying it's cringe. Every team does it. We tell our players, get better at doing it.
I like that.
That's a mentality.
What I like about it is you said at the end there, it's like, you got to do what you got to do. Like they had a lot on the line there, and they play well with it. And that was my whole thing, is like every team had been using it. I know, like, not in the situation that they were using it in that particular moment. But it doesn't say anywhere that you're not allowed to. And if they want to make that move, he's like, he stands by it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. And I feel the same way. We're going to get so much hate from the competitive community. So whatever. But
Leave
Boston's
it at that,
in, they're in a tight spot. And
are.
I'd like to see a lot of people not take the advantage when the advantage is there.
Exactly.
When
they have an opportunity in front of them and they got to do it.
Yeah. And I want to reiterate, both of them were using sound EQ. I know before for the keyboard warriors, I were like, he screwed up, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Yes. Minnesota and Boston are both using sound EQ. Minnesota just didn't want either of them to use it.
Right. But yeah, they ended with this roster for the main season, which was good. And then, like I said at the beginning, they end up going to a new roster, which we'll have to go and see whenever they put out episode 6.
Yeah. So I'm assuming episode 6 will make up the last major and champs, obviously.
Right.
And there is one more roster change, as you pointed out, going into champs.
Yeah. So you have to wait and see what it was if you did not watch what at all went down during the league.
Yeah, exactly. So as you guys have seen, like from episodes 1 through 5, Boston had a very shaky year. And how many roster changes is that? Like 4, 5?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 4 or 5 that they'd done. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And Mike and I have preached, like, you can't just take someone and put them in and expect them to be like lights out with the team.
Yeah.
It
doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So 1 month doesn't give them enough time to, get in the rhythm of everything.
Right.
But I hope you guys have enjoyed episodes 1 through 5. This was Mike's first time actually reacting to all of these and watching them.
Honest to God, I hadn't seen them.
Yeah. No, that's great because he brings a whole different perspective,
This is an authentic experience you're getting.
Exactly.
I never got to see him.
And now episode 6, whenever that comes out, whenever the team decides to get that out, we're both going to be reacting to that, and it's going to be the first time that we've ever seen it. So really looking forward to that, because I already know like the new team that's announced for the MW3 season. I'm assuming they're going to be in there too, and I'm just excited to see what the guys over there put together.
Yeah, same here. It's going to be a good one.
So yeah, thank you everyone for watching this 5-part series. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune into episode 6 when that launches. I'll leave the playlist of all of our reactions down below in the description. And thank you guys for watching. I'm Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys in the next reaction.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.